Mr. Gru, Agent Lucy Wilde of the Anti-Villain League. You're gonna have to come with me.
Oh, sorry,
You know, you really should announce your weapons after you fire them. For example... Lipstick taser! Get in here!
Now, Jeff, when I went to go see Despicable Me 2, and I got out, I said that you're going to be disappointed with my review.
Why would I be disappointed?
Because I enjoyed this way more than Monsters University.
Oh, I thought you were going to
way more.
I thought you were going to say I enjoyed this way more than the original Despicable Me.
Oh, that too! You fucking kidding me? This is way better.
Are you what?
Despicable
What?
Me.
What?
But hey,
what?
Let's get into this review then.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on.
Alright, okay. What's up?
What?
You act like Despicable Me is like a classic film, one of the best animated films of like the last 20 years or something like that.
No, it's not. No, but it's a really good movie.
No, it's not. It's not even really good. Okay, okay. Just so everyone doesn't hate me right away at the beginning of this review.
You don't like the Minions?
I don't dislike this. The first Despicable Me. I think it's an okay film. I think it's really cute. I just think that the humor is completely on and off throughout the entire movie to the point where...
Oh, wow. Are you sure you didn't see the sequel?
Are you kidding me? But anyway, I thought, like, the jokes fell flat. I didn't like the villain. It was just one of those movies where it's like, I hope they improve it with the sequel, which I feel like they very much did. So,
at least one
plot of this film. Go.
So Gru, as you saw in the last movies, has adopted the three girls. Agnes... and the other two, I can't remember their names.
There you go.
Very good.
You know what? I can't remember them for the life of me too.
I'm
basically he's dead now. He's no longer a villain. He's trying
to do a legitimate business.
He wants to run a jam and jellies. Yeah, jam and jelly business, and he's just being a dad.
Yeah.
But
the Anti-Villain League.
Recruits him because there's this guy snatching up shit with magnets.
Yeah, and someone's mysteriously stealing minions from him, and he has to find out. And they put him undercover in this mall, and I believe one of the store owners in the mall.
You're forgetting a big part of this, though, which is my favorite part of this film. He's teamed up with
Kristen Wiig.
Yeah, Kristen Wiig playing
one of the agents of the Anti-Villain League,
playing a woman.
Yeah,
whose name I can't remember.
Kristen Wiig's playing a woman? Shocking.
No. The point is I can't remember her character's name. But, man, we can't remember anyone's name.
Yeah, well, oh well.
I remember the Minions' names. Is that bad? But anyway, Kristen Wiig playing this agent who is Gru's partner, who's also kind of like a fan of Gru.
Lucy.
And all his, playing Lucy. But she's also a fan of Gru and his past work as a villain, so... It's this whole, like, you're my partner, but I also, like, really admire you, and I kind of want you to lead this, too. And she's just, like, she wants to be friends, and you can tell that he doesn't, like, right away. Yeah. Mainly because he's kind of afraid of women.
Yeah. And they show that in a flashback. That's both kind of, like, it's adorable and sad in a weird way.
But, it's, so that's the basic plot of the film. It's just, like, find out who's doing this, why, and there's also that whole there's a romance between Gru and Lucy, which I thought worked really well.
I really like that aspect too.
But there's some things you don't like about this, which actually I honestly wasn't expecting that. I was expecting you to come out of this movie like, oh man, I love this movie. This was fun.
Yeah, this is not better than the first one. I'm sorry.
So let's get into the good.
The Minions!
Go.
The Minions! The Minions. I love the Minions.
And you know what? I completely agree with you on that, because I wasn't a big fan of them from the first one. I was like, okay, they're kind of cute.
You have no heart?
I love the Minions in this movie, man. The way they're animated, the way they talk, everything.
The way they sing.
It's funny, it's adorable. I don't mind their singing, which is a huge compliment, because I hate singing in kids' films. I hate when kids are happy. No, well, like any dance number and stuff like that, I'm usually not a big fan of. But these are actually pretty funny and cute.
Yeah.
So yes, the Minions are great, and they have their own personalities in between themselves.
Yeah.
Those Minion parties, for no reason, just having this giant ice cream party out of nowhere, and it's great. Every second of it.
It's like the party from Project X, but if the kids were Minions,
and they weren't drinking, they were just eating ice cream. They were literally just eating ice cream. Oh my! The Minions are back, and they're better than ever.
Yeah,
because I really like that.
Yeah.
Another thing I liked about this film, it's this is gonna sound weird, but I thought it was a really good sequel to an old video game, and I'll explain that. Because that's
damn well better.
That's what reminded me of. Like, okay, the first one was good, but now we're back with new weapons, new characters, new vehicles.
It's like you explained, gadgets, gizmos.
Yeah, and a new villain.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like, I think this has more plot than the first one, to me at least. Because now, like, Gru is like, we know the type of character he is.
Yeah.
So he's able to do a lot more in this film than in the first one, even though he was like the main character. I felt like in the first one the focus was more on his two girls.
Okay. Excuse me, you have to say it like Gru. My little girls.
That's not how he says it though. I don't know what impression was that. Is that Danny DeVito? I can't. I'm just naming a celebrity out of my ass. I'm not even like. That didn't even sound like him, but you're not good at impressions. But
Sean Connery wants to know whatever you're talking about. That sounds Scottish right there for a second. Oh, that's British.
Shrek.
Never mind.
Calm down. But the focus of this film is more on.
Wait, Sean Connery is Scottish.
And Lucy, you dumb idiot. You didn't know that, or it just slipped your mind right now.
Yeah.
But anyway, the focus is Gru and Lucy, and that's what I like a lot about this film. It's them and the minions, and it's almost like a series of skits in a way.
I guess.
I personally think it could be viewed as that.
Yeah. With
intermissions of minions being taken away.
Yeah.
But I really like this movie, man. I liked it way more than the first one. And mainly because I thought it was way funnier. It wasn't joke, then miss, then joke, then miss, like the original one was to me. This one was like joke, 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 miss, joke, 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 miss. There was still some problems with it. But go into what you didn't like, because
that's like exactly what I thought about this one. I was like, they're hit and miss jokes. I'm sorry, but
that was the first one. That was the first movie. You went to go see the first movie again. That's what happened. And you just think you saw the second one.
No, man.
No. Or you saw the first one twice, and you were like, "Oh, I saw Despicable Me too."
I love those minions.
But really, the jokes were hit and miss for you?
Some of them were really funny, and then some of them either they were just like, he's fighting with a chicken, slapstick's funny, or like the fart gun, like they used twice, and both times I did not laugh at that at all.
I cracked up with the fart gun. I mean, come on. 21 fart gun salute, come on. It's kind of funny. It's so juvenile. But honestly, I'm not cracking up at what's going on right now. I'm cracking up picturing it in my head. I'm picturing that scene again, and it's cracking me up.
It was, I don't know. It didn't get the response
as soon as you did. Okay, spoilers, I guess. But as
hold on. Okay.
What?
Well, we want to give him enough time.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, right now it's at 8 minutes. Come back at like 10 minutes or something like that. But as soon as he said, like, Dr. Nefario, let's give him a proper send-off. And when I saw them with guns, like, they're going to do a 21 gun salute with farts. That's the first thing into my mind. And it's like, that's exactly what's happening. I found that hilarious. All right, come back.
Okay.
But, yeah, I don't know. Maybe because I also saw this as just like a really fun, dumb movie in a way, too.
I guess. I mean, hey, man, if you go to...
What the fuck was that?
I'm having a stroke. If you go see a Despicable Me movie...
Alright, we had some technical difficulties, but we're back.
We have a lot of technical difficulties.
You didn't even notice the break, probably. But anyway, go on. If you go see Despicable Me...
If you go see a Despicable Me movie, you know you're going to go in for, like, this is going to be a really cute, adorable, charming, sweet movie. I mean, that's what this movie is. That's what the first movie is. It's just, you know what you're going into. And I think it achieved its goal on this. Like, I like the third act of it. It kind of turns into, like, a kick-ass action movie.
It does.
And the last few minutes, it's sweet and adorable, and I love the minions singing.
Another thing I thought was a big improvement on this one than of the first one is the animation and the way it looks.
Yeah,
I think
animation
it's a beautiful
is gorgeous.
looking movie.
Really
impressive. I would hold it up to Pixar standards because of things that they do with camera that they were doing with the beginning with the first one.
There's a whole chase scene in Gru's house where you see the perspective. At first, well, it's not the whole chasing, but at first you see this perspective of one of the thing that's chasing the girls. I'm not trying to spoil it. It's pretty late into the movie, but you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, but that's all done in first person view. But not just that, but like little things like two people talking and they'll be in focus while the background is like out of focus.
Oh yeah,
which I just thought like that's cool that they're adding these little details to it.
I like that,
as well as some really impressive animation. There's a scene at the end where one thing turns into something else, and it's like with the serum, right?
Yeah.
But it's happening so fast and so many at a time. It's like that's just really impressive how they're doing that.
Oh yeah. I really like that sequence.
Yeah, it's a really good sequence, and that's another thing that made this movie. I think made me like it way better than the first one.
Okay, I'm gonna say something that I want to know your opinion on this. Were you surprised by any of the plot in this movie?
No, but I wasn't expecting a good twist in this film.
Well, I wasn't expecting like a huge great plot either, but every time like a new development happened, I was like, well, this is how this is going to come to play. Like even for a kids movie, it's ridiculously predictable.
I don't know. Because I found the last few kids movies we've seen, even ones that I love, like Rango, I think it was totally predictable.
Yeah.
I mean, not predictable, but I don't think they're trying to have twists. Toy Story 3. The bad guy is kind of obvious in Toy Story 3.
Oh, yeah.
It's the same bad guy from Rango. But, that didn't really bother me here. Cause it's just
this one is all about, like, we're searching for this villain. This
one's more of a run-on joke. More than a plot.
Yeah.
This one's more like, I'm telling you it's him!
Yeah.
And they just don't believe him. That didn't bother me at all.
Alright.
I think grumpy old Jeff just needs to go back and
don't call me grumpy old Jeff, okay? This movie's...
Why are you getting grumpy then?
This movie's funny and sweet and charming. I just thought the jokes were hit and miss, like I said about the story. And, I'm sorry, but every suspect they encounter they couldn't be more a living stereotype if the writers tried.
Hey man, that's fine with me. I'm Mexican. I wasn't bothered by this at all.
Well, I mean, like, okay, so it didn't bother... Okay, when they first introduced Benjamin Bratt's character, the whatchamacallit guy.
Have you seen the Mexican flag? He looks like this. No, dude, I love that shit.
No, I wasn't... No, it's not like I was offended by that, but...
More technical difficulties. Go on, Jeff.
All kinds of problems today.
Yeah.
But, no, but, okay, I wasn't... No, it's not like I was offended by that. I wasn't throughout this entire movie. I wasn't, but, when they first introduced him, I'm like, okay, it's a bit of a stereotype, but okay. And then they go to the second suspect, the Chinese owner of the wig stand, who...
Was he Chinese?
Was he? He was,
wasn't he? You racist bastard. He wasn't even Chinese.
Yeah, he was.
Was he Chinese?
I'm pretty sure he was.
I don't know. But anyway, you thought his character was stereotypical.
Dude, at one point he says something along the lines of like they substitute a letter for like a W.
Yeah, he was.
They substitute a letter for like a W at one point. So he says something like, "This is unbelievable."
I don't know. Maybe it was played by Ken Jeong. He's still okay with that, which I doubt it was. I don't know. It
wasn't like a huge part, but that was the part that was the part when I looked up. I was like, did anybody else hear that? Come on, unbelievable.
You know why I had no problem with it? Because everything in this movie is so exaggerated.
I guess.
That it's just, well, I mean, it's a cartoon.
Okay.
It's a big cartoon where nothing's supposed to be taken seriously.
Okay.
The main villain looks like a T-bone steak. His body shape is not human.
I don't go into a Despicable Me movie and going, this better be realistic. I mean, come on, did you see the first one?
Exactly.
He steals
by the way, quick note about this film. It's brutal. I mean, there's no blood or anything like that. But injury after injury, I'm just like, oh my god, that hurts. Especially when he's on a blind date with someone, There are moments in that where it's like, oh, jeez, you're being too rough.
Oh,
or even that, even the scene in the trailer where he gets kidnapped.
Yeah.
And they're like pushing his like body into the trunk and stuff like that. It's like, this is kind of violent, but it's that like Three Stooges level of violence. Yeah. It's just like so exaggerated.
I also like the guacamole hat. Oh yeah. Or the chip hat with the guacamole. I like that. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something right before you said. It's brutal. The blind date thing though. Maybe I'm just like a sadistic person, but when that I could not stop laughing when that woman was just like when they were driving her home and like
no. I mean, I was cracking up too.
I
was cracking up too, but it's just like that is kind of violent. Once again, I have no problem with this at all. I mean, out of our group, I think I'm like the one who's like a gore hound in a way because I don't mind strong violence in like horror movies and stuff like that. But I still notice it when it's Despicable Me too. I'm just saying I noticed it.
I don't know. I didn't really notice. Well, I mean, the one thing I did notice is that the actual villain's plan, like if this was in a James Bond, when it's actually like if it was in a James Bond movie, like if this was Javier Bardem's plan in Skyfall, I would have been like, haha, Bond, you fucked up.
You know what this is? This is a good parody of a James Bond movie.
I guess, yeah.
Which is like, I like the first Austin Powers movie. I even kind of like the second one.
I haven't seen those.
But
they're
just
I don't remember.
I feel like this is kind of smarter than those films, and more of an homage to spy films.
Fart guns. What? I'm just kidding.
What?
Sure, yeah, fart guns.
God damn it. Okay, that's one moment. 2 moments, and I like kidding. Both of those jokes. No, but I don't know what else to say about this. Complaints, yeah, the jokes, there were some that missed, but they weren't as frequent as the first one I felt. Oh. Also, I didn't really have many complaints about this film. I really like the romance in this film.
Oh yeah, the romance is really good.
That's the most important part of this film.
That's
the plot. It's kind of a romantic film. In its own sort of like weird way. I mean, even though there's a whole plot with the villain. I mean, there's a plot, but I think the main focus of this film is the romance between Gru and
Kristen Wiig's
character, who we just researched like not 2 seconds ago.
Well,
it's been a couple minutes, but still. But anyway, that's what I love about this movie.
Lucy,
between Gru and Lucy, it's about the 3 girls wanting a mom, kind of.
Yeah.
And Gru is also like, maybe I should do this for the girls. But then he gets to the point where it's like, maybe I should do this for myself, too, because this redhead fucking fine as hell. And she's funny, too.
And she is voiced by Kristen Wiig.
She is Kristen. That's what I love about the character. It's Kristen Wiig animated.
Yeah.
Because it really does feel like, this is just naturally Kristen Wiig. Funny and...
I love the chemistry that Gru has with her and the little girls. Because for a guy who
he's a really good
supervillain, he really cares about these girls, and it really shows in this movie. This movie is charming, sweet. I still have problems with it though. So. And
one quick thing I just want to note: the soundtrack is great.
Yeah,
I really like the soundtrack of the first one, and this one just seems like an improved version of that. I'm not saying the first one was bad. It just seems like let's amp it up. And it has some cool new songs from Pharrell that I really like. And it fits well.
Although there's one thing that I thought of. This is kind of a dark thought for a kids movie, but in the trailer where you see Lucy kidnap Gru and the minions are trying to save them, and then she tases them with her lipstick taser, and she dives off of that bridge and into the water, and goes down below to the anti-villain lair. I was just saying, like, newspaper headlines for the next day, those people, bystanders who witnessed that, crazy woman commits suicide.
Kidnaps lover commits suicide.
Body never found.
I didn't even think of that. That is kind of dark and crazy. Yet another technical difficulty where we thought we lost the entire recording. So be happy that we didn't. Let's just get to ratings.
Another thing is, oh my god!
Yeah, I know. You should have seen my panic. But ratings. I think this is way better than the first one. I think it improves on things that I liked from the first one, and not just on the problems that I had with the first one. And I think it's a really good family film, especially out now. this is a better family film than the other one that's in theaters right now. I would say at least more entertaining. So I really like this movie. I would actually see it again. I'm gonna give this 3 eyes out of 4.
Trying to decide what to give it.
I mean, we do a fucking review show. That's what you do.
No, that's what I'm doing.
Before we do this.
Oh. Well, I think I had it set beforehand, but now talking about it, I was like, well, hold on. Okay, so it is cute. It is charming. It's very sweet. I love the chemistry that Gru has with
Lucy.
Lucy. Thank you. and the kids. The third act is kick-ass. And I love the minions. Although I do have to say, the jokes are hit and miss. The plot, even for a kids movie, is like no surprises.
Okay?
Okay, not no surprises.
No. Just go on.
No surprises.
Just go on. Just let me fucking go. Just go on with your review. We covered this.
What I meant was no.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it an affectionate 2.5. An affectionate 2.5. Almost 3. All right, like rent it. It's a good family film. Fun for the family.
Hey, why don't you just shit on Christmas too, and take away all the other things children love?
I didn't do this during Monsters University.
Yeah, because I couldn't even think of anything. You should have. I don't know.
Are we really gonna save the world?
That's right, baby. Crew's back in the game with cool cars, gadgets,
How are they working?
and weapons.